Hey there, Rustin here. I'm going to be showing you how I like to wrap presents. Now, I don't wrap presents in what I would consider the modern way of doing it. You know, I don't have like gift wrap or anything. I use stuff like craft paper, some twine to, you know, like tie stuff up. I use wax seals. Instead of ripping apart something with tape, you're like breaking a wax seal and just kind of gives like a more, you know, special vibe to it, in my opinion. I think it adds like a little extra flavor to the actual unwrapping process of instead of ripping through wrapping paper or tearing up tape or something like that, or just opening a gift bag, the actual process of opening the gift I feel gets enhanced a little, in my opinion. Now I don't want to waste any time, and like we'll talk as I'm like actually doing stuff. Let's go over what you'll need, and like I will even mention some stuff that you might want depending on what kind of version of the wrap you go for. There's like two versions of the wrap that I do, and I'll go over both of them here. First thing that you'll need, the gift. This is just kind of some matching necklaces I got for the moms of the family for Christmas. Got one for my grandmother, for my mom, and my aunt. We do Secret Santa with our family these days. Still want to get the moms of the family some, you know, alright gifts. I mean, they're simple necklaces, yeah. Got our gifts. I'll close those up. Set those aside. Next up, what you'll want is your wrapping paper, or in this case I'm just using craft paper. I bought this at Walmart. You can probably find it on Amazon too. It's nothing fancy, and that's kind of the aesthetic I go for, is that while the actual like end result looks fancy, the actual materials are far from fancy. So there's our craft paper. Something that you might consider picking up, some masking tape. I know this is like a very like, this is super modern, Rustin. I thought you said there wasn't gonna be any tape or anything. Well, there's not gonna be tape on the end result, but this tape right here will kind of help make the actual process of getting to the end result a little easier, and I'll show you what I mean with that. Something else that you might want, depending on the style of wrapping that you go for, is some kind of like string. In this case we have jute over here. I really like this. This gives like a very like rustic feel to it. Or you could go for something like some trim or some twine or something, and this has more like a nicer feel to it. I kind of bounce back and forth depending on what the actual gift is and who the person is, but jute, this I bought this like years ago, and while I don't wrap with this style very often, usually I just do just the wax. This is pretty nice too, not gonna lie. Next thing that you'll want is some kind of wax, sealing wax, not candle wax, get some sealing wax. Now, this is a brand that I have used for maybe a decade now. When did this come out? 2013. Okay, so I started buying this at like Hobby Lobby, and Hobby Lobby has one listing left, and I don't think they even have very many like of that listing remaining, so I might go and like buy up the rest they have, because I have not seen this on shelves in years, and it's definitely not online unless you want to go on like eBay or something, and on eBay there's a price markup because that's just how it is with things. They've done like different colors and stuff, and this is like one of their more recent ones. I think this is yeah, this one is from 2016. Still good quality wax. I prefer this style. I don't know why I'm calling it style, but like this version of the wax a little more. I feel like the wax seal kind of holds a little better, and it doesn't like tear into the paper as much whenever it pops off. We'll go over that a little more later. So yeah, wax, sealing wax. Now there are little candle wicks, and the intention is to actually like light the wick and like have it melt around and make it like a little puddle where you're gonna put the actual seal down. Don't do that for two reasons. One, the actual wick getting lit, depending on the kind of wax you're using, it could just burn the wax. Let's say you're using like white wax. If it burns the wax, there's just gonna be a bunch of like black spots in the actual seal. Don't do that. You don't have to necessarily do what I do with this, but I have like a little container that I will actually just like break the wax into. So like let's see now. I have a stick here somewhere, one second. Well, I had a stick like laid out, but we'll crack into this real quick. Oh wow, that fell apart. This is a really old packaging. So yeah, what I'll do is that I'll take the actual like wax stick, and I'll just pull the wick out. Usually I use like pliers. Second. Okay, we're gonna use the other method, which is just break it There you go. Alright. Got that wick out. And I just kind of break it into pieces like this. And then I'll have this sitting like over a fire. And we'll just have like a little like pool of wax. And then we'll have like a smaller container to scoop it and then like pour it onto where we're gonna make our little wax puddle. Now, there are like proper little containers to actually melt the wax with like a tea light and all that. I am very cheap, and I also had the mindset of I want different colors at the ready. So what I did is that I basically just went down to Walmart and I bought some measuring cups, and then to actually like move the wax from the cups to like pour in my little spots that I want the wax, I just had like the little measuring spoons. That, in my opinion, is probably the best way to go if you want to use different colors and you don't want to like clean the bowls out or mix the colors. That's kind of the way that I go. And this is like another reason why, like this right here actually, is why I have the container to melt the wax and then the spoon to like grab the wax out of, is that on the back here, got a bunch of burn marks just from soot from the candles melting the wax in the container. That's a little pro tip here, is don't actually use the wicks to melt the wax. Get a container, get a little spoon to scoop the wax out of. It'll help you avoid any burn marks in your wax. On the topic of wax, while this brand that I use is basically non-existent for the most part anymore, if you find it at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, congrats, I would definitely pick it up. I did go on Amazon and I bought just some like new wax beads to try, so we'll try this out. I did try some other sealing wax in the past. If you see some sealing wax that has this design on it, I would honestly avoid it. This is probably the worst sealing wax I've ever bothered using. I really wanted some black sealing wax, and this was like super cheap, and I was like, you know what, I'll drop some money on it, give it a shot. This stuff sucked. So what I basically did is that I took my like kind of grayish sealing wax and I kind of mixed it with this black, and I kind of just made like a hybrid of the two waxes, and it kind of worked alright, kind of, sort of, could have been better. Well, I will be using the more like nicer looking colors for the actual gifts. I'm gonna give this a shot while we're like wrapping. Pretty good deal. Get you something to actually like melt the wax in a little bowl with, and here we have just this is a drain catch. Once again, there's like some very nice expensive ones you can buy online. I went to Walmart and I was like, hey, that would work. And then we have a little tea light here. Now, I did go a little fancier a while back, and at Hobby Lobby they had these little candle holders, and these are actually really good for like the bigger bowls. They can kind of just like sit in here like that. Really like that. But for like the smaller bowls, just sitting on the little drain catch and just letting the fire just kind of like heat it up from there, it's pretty solid. A positive of this is that I also have these like bigger candles, so I can kind of like burn through these that I've just had over the years. I really just like swap between them depending on the mood. So there's that, and then of course, you know, a way to actually light the candles. You could get like a heating pad. Adding Rustin here, you will also want some seals to actually put an imprint on the wax. Don't know why at the time of recording I completely blanked on it. I think because it's such a key component, I felt like it might have gone without saying that you need that, but yeah, you'll want some seals. You can get them on Amazon, you can find them at craft stores like Hobby Lobby and Michael's. They are very easy to come by, you just have to go and look for them. But that's the basic thing that you want to get, is all that stuff. I'll pop it up on the screen real quick, or we'll just very much like skip over everything that I did as filler. For this one, I'll be using this drain catch and this little tea light. But before we actually get started on the actual wrapping process, let's crack open a Dr. Pepper and hope that we don't have any ups here. While this is a very cool process and very aesthetically pleasing, it does take some time. If you up with this, it's not as simple as like replacing the tape and stuff. You kind of just have to like restart, or else you're just gonna have like a gross puddle on the paper. So yeah. All right. Cheers. So I think we'll go for what I consider the more classic wax seal, and we'll just have some red melting here for a while we get the paper formed around the gift. All right. I use a little matchbook. Get that going. We'll set that aside. Shouldn't take too long to melt it. It's a brand new tea light for the most part. I used it like once the other day to wrap a gift, so that shouldn't take too long to melt the wax. In the meantime, let's start forming up this gift. Alright, we'll start with the one for my aunt. You'll cut your craft paper to size, and for this one we'll do the style that doesn't require the string at all. Just go and fold it in on itself. And what we're gonna try to do is that we're gonna try to make a pocket for the paper to kind of like tuck in on itself, and we'll try to align the top layer of the pocket around the center of the gift. That's about where the gift is. And let's go ahead and fold it in on itself again. And then we'll fold this forward like so. And kind of like tuck this a little, so that way we can tuck it into the top fold. We'll get the top fold in, and we kind of have some excess here, so this is where I kind of like to take the scissors. So I'll kind of find about where the middle is, which is about right there. Let's go ahead and just cut across. There we go. All right. And in fact, let's cut a little bit of this excess off as well, so it folds in a little better. There we go. Should fold in pretty nicely. Also try and do this while I'm looking at the side view, because the mic's in the way. Okay. That's about right. Okay. Now let's fold these sides in a little. Like that. There we go. Looking clean, looking clean. Let's straighten that out a little. There we go. We could just hold it with our hand, pour the wax on, or, and this is where the masking tape comes in handy, get the masking tape as like a third hand, or a fourth hand if you want to be, you know, super careful. Don't need a lot. And you don't have to, like, you know, push it on there hard, we just need to hold in place. Put it right there. We want to keep the center nice and open, because that's where the wax is going to get poured on. There we go. So holding nice and very straight. I know there's a bit of a slant, completely fine. The little like offset, you know, kind of adds a little character to it. Got a few options here. I'm considering a little heart. A little heart might be kind of cute. Typically what I go for is go for a nice little rose. Kind of think that looks very classy. If it's something where it's like a gift to a friend or something, or I just want to like kind of make it look a little like almost official, I do have my little stamp here with the art that I drew up years ago. Looks like the wax is starting to melt a little. I'm gonna actually straighten this out just a tiny bit so there's not much of a gap. Alright, looks nice. Let's go and speed up this process a little. Now the wax is pretty hot, but it's not gonna like scold you unless you like stick your finger just directly into it. It's like these little sticks that are like not melted yet. They're pretty alright. I'm just speeding up the process by bringing the melted wax onto the top here. So while that's going, I'm also going to start melting the black wax that I bought off of Amazon. That candle is almost kaput. We might be able to get a little bit of life out of it still, but actually that one's just kind of hard to reach actually. Oh, almost got it. almost got it. No, fascinating watching. Hey, there you go. Oh man, look at that. It's a puck. It's like multiple candles though. Let's drop this bad boy in here. Like so. I'll set it to the side so we can get that lit. And tear that match out. Actually, you might be able to use that. I think we can reach in there and get it. Yeah. I'm really hopeful that this is actually a good brand that I bought. Because man, finding good wax for these seals is not easy. Yeah, we'll go with maybe a little more. Because it will... Okay, that's definitely enough. There's like pockets of air there because, you know, it is little beads of wax. Set that aside. Bring the red wax over. It's almost ready. We gotta use the spoon here. Just kind of like push it down in. Get that flowing over the cold wax. All honesty, we could probably pour it on there as is, but I'd prefer that it's all pretty liquefied. But yeah, this stuff, it doesn't solidify super fast, but I mean like, this just got dipped in there. And it's almost like Play-Doh. But you know, you drop it right back into the heat and it's basically liquid again. Almost ready. In the meantime, could start getting the other one wrapped up a little, the other style. So for the other style that uses the string and twine, jute, trim, whatever you want to use, that one you can use a little less paper on because you're gonna sort of wrap it almost like a modern present, except instead of using tape, we'll use the actual twine and all that. So let's get this folded in. Like so. Get that centered for the most part. Yeah. And like right about there. Yeah, right about there. I know, I'm saying this on the candle wax that just fell, but I'll make it look nice later. The red wax is almost ready too, nice. Grab our masking tape here. Gonna set this on the side here. Get another piece, set it on the side here. We'll fold it in like a modern present. Like that. Get more tape. Once again, this tape is not going to be here permanently. It's just here to hold it. Now, I know you might be thinking, oh, let's put it here. We're actually going to put it on the side here. I'll show you why in a second. Okay. Just like that. We're going to do the same on the other side. There we go. Okay, so we got this all pretty much prepped up as far as actually putting the string on. So let's go ahead and peel out these pieces of masking tape. We're not gonna use them anymore. All right, I think we'll use the trim. Let's go ahead and pull off a decent amount of it. Actually, might as well just pull it all off. Yeah, there's just one string there. Trying to think of how this works. Yeah, I think we start on the top. We cross the little gap right there. It's been a while since I've done it like this. And then we come around to the back. And then we meet them. Then we turn them. And then we flip back over. Then we meet here in the middle again. And then we tie our bow. And I'm kind of fortunate that I kind of taught myself how to tie like one of those like tying your shoe very quickly, that kind of bow. It actually looks very nice. So what you'll do is that you'll take your index finger, grab a little bundle here, take your thumb, tuck it under, you'll hold it like that. You'll hold the excess with your other fingers. Then you'll do the same here, but with different loop method. So you'll take your right index finger, tuck it under, like that. Hold the excess over here with the other fingers. Take your thumb, grab like that. It's kind of like making like an N. So we're in this position. We got our N going. Left index here, right thumb here. Kind of like hook into them, and then pull all of it. And that's how you get a nice little like perfect bow. Let's make that bow a little smaller though. Kind of match the gift. Yeah. Right like that. Looking nice. Nice and tight. Okay. And now you don't really need the masking tape on the sides here, because I was just there to hold the paper. And now it's being held in place by the string here. So we can go ahead and peel this off. It's nice and tight. And you could leave it like this, but we're gonna add a little bit of a wax seal to kind of hold it in place more. And we could probably cut the excess string off here. Go. The wax is basically done. Just push that a little lower. Ooh, the black wax is like coming along super nicely. I'll slide that over so you can see it. Yep. It's melting very nicely. It does look a little bit puddly, which is a little concerning, but hopefully the wax is actually a good quality that I like. We shall see. But yeah, no, I think this is just about ready. So let's start with the more, I would say, basic wrapping style, which is this, but I do like the aesthetic of it of just being held together by a wax seal. We'll be using the little rose stamp here. What I like to do is that I'm not just like pouring the amount on there. What I'll do is that I'll pour a little smaller than what I want for the puddle, and then I'll use the back of the spoon to kind of smear it around, and that kind of just makes it a little more even. You can kind of like shape the circle a little more to your liking that way. This is probably where I take most of my time, is the actual pouring of the wax, because 1, you have to heat up the wax. 2, the wax is hard to come by as far as like finding good wax. Like finding good paper, it's paper. That's not really so much the cool part. Some people like to keep the wax seals. That's why I like to, you know, make them look as nice as possible. But let's get like a nice little scoop here. Oh, that is the half melted wax stick. Let's push that to the side. Alright, let's get some nice little dollop. Let it drip. It is kind of cool to have a wax string going across the gift, but I kind of like it to look as clean as possible. Okay, it's still dripping a little. This is probably the hardest part, is to determine like at what point do I like deal with the drip, and at what point. Okay, right there, that's actually good. Yeah. Let's slide that over so I don't accidentally knock it over. I'm using a monitor to determine how far away it is. Okay, that's good. Let's hold that down there in place. Is that string? All right. Pull that string off. Put it in there. All right. Pour it in. Once again, we're going for about the size of the wax seal, but we're not going to make the initial pour that size. We're gonna make it slightly smaller than the wax seal. How about there? Okay, gonna use the back of the spoon, kind of smear it around, pull it away. Put that back in there. I always give it a little blow, just make sure it's nice and cool. Let's go and tilt it to the side a little bit, kind of smear it a little bit towards the top there. And we'll put it right down there. Oh, ran into a bit of an issue. We let it cool a little too long, and it got a little hot on the underside. But this is why I like this wax, is that if you're careful, you can kind of get another opportunity Look at that. So love this wax. Made a little mistake, but now we have a little spot that we can easily pour on and it won't even like stand out all that much. I run into that mistake like once or twice every time that I try to do this, so don't be discouraged. There are also glue gun options for these wax seals. I'm not a big glue gun guy, but you do have more precision that way. You can kind of control how much wax goes on there and also the heat of the wax, so there is that. But I do more enjoy the aesthetic of this because it is a bit more of an art form rather than a science to it. I think we're ready. We're gonna go a little quicker this time though. I almost want to move I'm gonna move the mic out of the way actually. Let's go a little quicker this time. Alright. Oh, I can definitely see the drip a lot easier now. Let's get that drip taken care of. Alright. Push it onto the edge right there. Okay, good stuff. Pull that off. Okay. Pretty nice smear right there, if I do say so myself. Side. Let's move it around a little bit. Okay. We're gonna let that sit for a little bit. Make sure it hardens around the rose. So our black wax is nice and melted now. Look at that. Nice and melted. It's kind of bubbled a little, which is a little concerning. It might be because of the heat, so go and blow that out. But yeah, let's get some paper and we will try using this black wax and see if I like it. It's like very watery. It's a little concerning, but it might be good. I'm gonna use my R and just reuse this spoon that we used for the previous black. Alright, let's see how it scoops at least. Oh, it's very runny. Huh. Or it might be as runny as the previous wax, but it might just be because of how clear and black it is. Whereas the red here has kind of like a little sparkle to it. But yeah, it does kind of taper off a bit with the drip. It's good. Oh, that does not stick at all. Wow. That was very stringy. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. It's almost rubbery. Holy crap, come on. Usually the tail breaks off by now, come on. Okay, there we go. That was a long tail. Let's go ahead and give it the pour. See how it looks. The pour is very smooth, so that's nice. Let's see. A little bit more. Let's go and move it over, smudge it a little. That's good. Maybe a little more actually. Yeah, right about there. Of course, it has a very long tail. Oh, that was not hot at all, wow. Okay. Yeah, look how stringy that is. It's got some fairly solid tensile strength. That's interesting. The fact that it bubbled like that is, I don't know if that's because of the heat or if it's because of the kind of wax. Not the biggest fan of how stringy it is. Now, aesthetically, there might be some merit to it, depending on the kind of style of gift you're going for. Like maybe someone is like a huge like Halloween fan and you want like some stringy wax going around looking like a spider web almost or something. So there's some appeal to that aesthetic. Back to the ASMR of sealing wax. I had enough time to harden. Let's see how it turned out. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Love it. That looks very nice. And now we can just remove the masking tape. And looks very lovely. It's a little off center. I had a mic in the way for the initial pour and then I kind of like pour it back onto the spot that we messed up on it a little, but I think it looks very nice. I'm happy with it. We'll set that aside. All right, let's take a look at, oh wow, that didn't stick to the paper at all. That's a little concerning now. Will this be a Rustin recommendation? Oh, wow, okay. That, it doesn't look bad. I'm not like, I don't hate it. I'm kind of questioning if maybe I waited too long and it didn't harden correctly. But I mean like the actual outline of the R, it's there. It's just not there in a way that I'm super happy about. Now the actual thing that I'm concerned about is, did it melt into the paper or is it just holding on to the paper? Because the way that this wax that I have here in the red, it kind of just holds on to the paper. So you can like literally like you take your finger like under the paper here and just slide across, or like a knife, and it'll just pop right off. But other wax in the past that I messed around with, it just melted into the paper, which holds it great, don't get me wrong, but like I wanted to like tear up the wax seal. So let's see, did it melt into the paper? I think it did. Yeah, it might. Oh yeah, it definitely did. Yeah. Kind of a bummer. I didn't think it was that hot when we poured it. I was kind of hoping that like maybe since we took a while to actually pour it. Oh, actually feeling it now, it's like very rubbery. It's like very rubbery. Yeah. That's a bit of a bummer. Okay, I can't, it's not bad, but I can't say that it has the Rustin seal of approval, but it's not a bad wax. It's just not the kind of wax that I want. Yeah. Oh, and it doesn't tear at all. Oh god, yeah. So I'd have to like take some scissors in order to like salvage this wax. Ugh. Ugh. I think what I might do is that I have a crap load of green that I don't use as often just because like green is like, yeah, someone that was like born around like St. Patrick's Day, or yeah, someone that has a favorite color of green, or are you wrapping stuff for like Christmas or something? I don't use green very often. I might try to like mix it in with the black here and maybe I might be able to get like a hybrid wax. It's just so rubbery. Oh my god. Yep. That explains why the drip was so crazy. Yeah. Okay, well I got it to tear, but like, yeah, it holds together so well. So I guess if you want a wax that will like hold its shape, that's great and all, but it's not exactly the kind that I'm going for. So I'll be trying out a different brand. If this video is popular enough, I'll do like a review on the new brand that I get. But this is very much like a non-normal video for me. This is just kind of a spur of the moment thing. On to the one where we have this nice little bow. What we're gonna do is that we're going to actually pour wax right onto the center of the bow, and then we're gonna pour a wax seal on top. It might sound a little weird. It might look a little weird when we're actually doing it, but trust me, it's gonna look nice. It's gonna look very nice at the end. Let's see, this is technically the top right here. Let's go ahead and kind of center that a little bit more. Yeah, it looks nice. Let's go and move my mic so I have a nice view of it, unlike last time. I really wish they continued to make this wax. Because man, I just love how it pours and how it melts and how it solidifies on the paper and everything. The reason why I don't do this style very often is that on the off chance that they're like, oh, I only want to keep like one of the wax seals if I make like multiple gifts or something, I can kind of just like take the wax back and reuse it. I've also made D&D props using wax from this brand, and it's like, okay, here's a letter from a king or something that you need to deliver. Sealed in wax, ooh, special, ooh. And it's like, okay, prop is done. I really just made that for the D&D group. I'll just take the wax back and reuse it. But in the moment that they open it or something, or this and that, it's very nice and appealing. And I also made like what I would consider a very cool D&D prop with wax. And yeah. I'll show pictures of that or something. Alright guys. This is a big moment. That's fair.
He says, psych, fireball.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So, Ideal.
Uh-huh.
Ethan, my boy.
It's on the table, remember, we all see
So,
this.
Yeah,
this
I
right
know.
here,
I know.
I want you to treat it as Ideal would treat it. I want everyone to turn around.
What? Everyone turn around!
Everyone turn around. Including you, because this is going to be a reveal. This is going to be a reveal.
yeah.
So, no, you turn around too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. You get to see it first, though, but...
Okay.
Yeah. Alright,
This is my baby.
So-
I saved it.
so, Ideal,
Uh-huh.
go ahead and turn around, and like I said, treat this as your character would treat it. You open it, there's a velvet interior, and you see this.
Interesting.
Alright, everyone can turn around, and can take a look.
Okay, so this is what we've got. It's a package with a...
There's a velvet inlay, it's like a nice red.
I want to open it. I like to open it. I want
Like
to
I
open
Hang
it.
on.
Treat it as your characters would.
Just do it carefully and slowly.
Very
Can we
carefully.
both?
You gonna be opening it?
Okay, fine. Yes, we can both open it, so...
Carefully, guys. Oh.
It's too late. We're already breaking the wax.
Yeah, I was like, they're gone. It's gone.
I don't want to rip it, but it looks like we may have to rip it.
Go ahead. So
Just,
it's
oh
yours.
my god.
You're opening into it.
I feel like we're animals.
Like I said, treat it as you would treat it in person.
Hold on.
Oh no.
Don't open it!
Oh my god. Is that what it...
Would I know what this is?
Would any of... Do you want...
Make an Arcana check.
Do you want all of us to...
Sure, everyone can make an Arcana check.
I was gonna say, can I do it?
Natural 1!
I got a 15.
Hey, that's not bad. 19.
This is a really cool...
I got a 19.
11.
Alright.
24.
20.
I also got an natural 1.
Okay, so Corin and Ideal,
Oh shit, this is awesome!
with Thane, you like reach over and stop him from opening the flap again. You have heard rumors of this. Of a deck of cards that come in a leather pouch. Can alter fates.
It can be really good.
It can shape lives into great things, or it can destroy them.
Okay, here's the deal.
Where are you going
Ideal.
to solve?
Oh, I think it's on the blackout end of this. Oh well. Alright. Let's go ahead and pour this on here. Let's get a nice pour. This one I'm kind of okay if it kind of like goes a bit everywhere, but I would like to kind of get it as centered as possible. Kind of move it around with gravity a little. Okay. Take the rose. This one I'm gonna apply a little bit of pressure on it. Now, an idea that I did just have is that you could gradually apply wax, let it solidify, and then build like kind of a shelf for the actual stamp to go down on. That is an idea. But this style is also pretty nice. You're gonna kind of see the twine like kind of blend in with the wax here and there. So I'll let that sit for a bit. To the side. Now we have one more here, and yeah, might as well wrap it, but we'll use this one as an example. And I'll probably get some like purple wax for this, and this one might I might keep it as is just to kind of like separate them more. But this one will wrap up, and then I'll show you how nice the wax that I prefer using kind of breaks off. And that's kind of like what I look for in my sealing wax. So let's go ahead and get this wrapped up real quick. Grab the scissors, cut off the excess. Put the top in. Go. Get folded in. This one doesn't have to be super pretty because this one will be getting rewrapped. So I'm just gonna make this a quick one. After I'm done taping this, we'll take a look at. Actually, you know what? We'll let that sit. Get this one sealed, and then we'll take a look at how it ended up. All right, this one will use the R again. A nice little pour there. I use gravity to spread it around a little. Alright, that's looking nice. It did kind of get under the lip of it, so kind of hold a little tighter. It's not a huge deal. Not my best, but I do definitely like how that spread a little. So let's go ahead and set this aside. That one's just gonna get reopened here in a second. This one here might get reopened. It might. I feel like 50-50 on it. Depends on how it looks. But let's go ahead and look at this as a group. Not bad, actually. That looks. Oh man, actually looks kind of nice. Oh. Like the way that kind of like spreads here, looks like we have like petals here. And this looks like the stem almost. Oh, very pleasing to the eye. But yeah. Now there was a little bit of a bubble there. That does happen. Is a kind of a little bit of a complex design as far as stamps go. That does kind of happen at times. But aside from that, I mean, like it looks. I like it. I honestly do like it. The only issue is I don't remember the difference between these two as far as whose they were. So I'm gonna have to like take a look back at the footage to determine like, oh well this one's my mom and this one's my aunt. This one is getting rewrapped just because I want to do it in purple wax. Honestly, I don't hate it. Yeah, it looks pretty solid. Yeah. So we saw how it looked with the black wax. So I was a little disappointed, not gonna lie. It's fine wax. I just have a preference for it. Let's go and bring this over. All right. How did the wax that I prefer handle my stamp? Super clean. Look at that. There's like a little bit of ridging going on there, but in the light, just like straight on light, can't even notice it. Turn to the side, you gotta really bring it into the light, and then there's a little bit of ridging, but like straight on, beautiful, beautiful. I lucked out so hard whenever that's the wax I actually started doing wax sealing with. Like, fuck. Let's go ahead and pull off the masking tape. I probably could have been a little more gentle with the masking tape on this one. I think I put a little bit too much pressure on that. Oh yeah, this side is so much better. It does help that I'm also like peeling it very gently, but yeah. Careful with your masking tape. So we saw previously with the black one, it just tore into the paper. This wax can stick to the paper, but you can like kind of just peel it. I'm not even gonna use a knife, I'm just gonna use my finger. And this was recently, like it's still warm. Look at that. Popped right off. And yeah, there's like wax that got into the like actual pocket there, but I'm just gonna go ahead and like peel it from the top here. See, the paper is like being held on there by the wax that is like pinching it, but let's go and peel. There we go. Look at that. That is a clean peel. That is a very clean peel. That's what I look for in my wax. Like, that is super clean. Oh, I don't want to keep this. I'm just gonna dump it back into the pot there. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna just break it. And just drop it back into the pot to reuse. So nice. Love it. Even feels like rubber, as, yeah. Okay, not my favorite wax. I'm gonna try to salvage it and mix it with some wax that I like, that I just don't use very often. And maybe I can get like a hybrid black going. Not some soot. Whoops. Editing Rustin here. I'm happy to say that after combining the new black wax with some of my old wax, I was able to get a mixture that I was kind of happy with. It does still kind of dig into the paper, but not as bad. And I feel like if I tweak the ratio a bit more, I might be able to get something more comparable to what I like to use just with the black color. I'll, you know, still continue to find a new replacement because pretty sure that the wax I prefer is not going to be made anymore. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing how I like to wrap my presents. I think these turned out fantastic. The actual string one turned out a lot better than I was expecting. Usually I go with this method that doesn't have the string just because I like how the wax seal puddles up around the edge and just kind of like looks a little cleaner. But the way that this turned out, I'm actually kind of happy with it. I might try this method a little more often, especially with like bigger packages where I definitely need to actually use something to hold the sides together like that rather than just doing the pocket method. I might consider it. Yeah, no, it looks pretty solid. Let me know if you want to see more stuff like this in the future where I kind of just like show some hobbies that I have had that I just kind of keep under wraps for the most part and really only like friends and family see. Did you learn anything from this? I hope so. Is this something that you might try out, you know, next time that you have like a gift to give someone? Let me know. Should I make some, this is saying for the usual viewers, should I make some Force of Will wax seal stamps? Yeah, no, let me know what you guys think about this. But that'll be it for the video. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.